Good day, learners. What a wonderful and a great day to be here again. Today we shall be discussing about land and its uses. At the end of this lesson, the learners are expected to be able to state the meaning of land, state the characteristics of land, mention the use of land, identify physical, economical, and social factors affecting the land availability for agricultural purposes. Definition of land. Land may be defined as the utmost layer of the earth's crust on which agricultural, that is farming or agricultural purposes, and non-agricultural activities are carried out. It is a factor of agricultural production which is immobile and limited in supply. Land use policy. Land use demands careful planning in order to ensure increased agricultural production. In order to use land most efficiently, there is a need to ensure a continuous land use policy, which must not change as government change. Characteristics of land. Land is a natural gift. Land can appreciate or depreciate in value. It is geographically immobile. It is abundant in some areas and scarce in other areas. It is heterogeneous in quality, differing from one place to another in topography, soil texture and structure, soil fertility, and many more. Because of its limited supply, land is also subject to the law of diminishing returns. Reward for land is rent. Availability is subject to land law. Its suitability influences output. Its value is determined by its location. It can be used as collateral for loan. Classification of land based on uses. Land can majorly be classified into two based on uses. We have agricultural land. These include land for crop production, livestock production, forestry, wildlife conservation, and fishery. And we have non-agricultural land. This land includes industrial use, residential purposes, mining, sports centers, recreational purposes, markets, worship places, transportation, commercial purposes, educational purposes, and cemeteries. Uses of land for agricultural purpose. Number one, we have for production of crops. Land is used for production of arable crops, that is food crops and cash crops. What are the importance of crops that we need to use land for? Provision of food, provision of employment, provision of income to farmers, provision of raw materials for industries, as sources of foreign exchange for the nation. Land for livestock production. Land is used for natural grazing land for livestock. Large areas of land are set aside in savanna belts where abundant grasses for grazing by livestock are available. Livestock is important because it provides foods in form of protein. Example, we have meat and eggs. For provision of employment, For provision of feed for farm animals, provides hide and skin. It can provide foreign exchange for the nation. The use of land for forestry. Forestry involves the management of the forest and its resources for man's use. Forest reserve is established in the following places. Number one, where there is low pressure for cultivation, where there is low population density, where the land seems not to be suitable for agriculture. Forest reserves kept by government for specific purpose are called forest reserves. Forest reserve in Nigeria. We have Mamu River Forest Reserve in Anambra State, Omo Forest Reserve in Ogun State, Shasha River Forest Reserve in Ogun State, Afi River Forest Reserve in Cross River State. We have Okomu Forest Reserve in Edo State. We have Asopo Forest Reserve in Edo State. We have Anara Forest Reserve in Kaduna State. We have Zamfara Forest Reserve in Zamfara State. We have Sanga Forest Reserve in Plateau State. We have Alba Hills Forest Reserve in Oyo State. Oh. Importance of forests. For provision of food, e.g. fruit, bushmeat, and many more. For provision of fuel, we have the firewood and charcoal. For provision of medicinal herbs, forests serve as a source of employment, most especially for the forest guard. Formation of rainfall, prevention of soil erosion. Forest serves as home of wild animals. It serves as a tourist center. For provision of foreign exchange for the nation. For provision of timber for furniture. For provision of pulp used for tissue and paper making. It beautifies the environment. It reduces atmospheric pollution by removing carbon dioxide and replacing it with oxygen. Wildlife conservation. Wildlife refers to animals found in the bush. Wildlife are conserved in game reserves, which are center of tourist attraction. Land which is not suitable for agriculture and forestry may be used for game reserve as well as in sparsely populated area. Game reserves. These are places where wild animals are kept or conserved to avoid extinction while they are carefully and wisely exploited. Poaching. This is the indiscriminate killing of animals in a game reserve, and this should be prohibited. Examples of game reserve in Nigeria. We have the Ngeri Game Reserve in Bauchi State, Kanji National Park in Kogi State. We have Zugurman Game Reserve in Niger State. We have Burgu Game Reserve in Kwara State. Some animals conserved in game reserve include elephants, tigers, lions, zebra, giraffe, monkeys, snakes, leopards, birds, turtles, etc. Importance of wildlife or game reserve. Wildlife is hunted to provide meat for food. Game reserves are center of tourism. It provides employment to many people. It generates income for the nation or the government. Hide and skin from wildlife are useful for domestic purposes. Prevention of wildlife from extinction. Game reserve promote education and research works on wildlife. Encouragement of microclimate of a locality with respect to rainfall. Fishery. Fishery involves the establishment of fish ponds where fishes are reared artificially to provide the necessary source of protein and income for people. What are important of fishery that we have to use land for? It provides fish which serve as a source of food to man and livestock. It provides a means of increasing the availability of protein to people at a reduced cost. It provides a means of recycling waste, e.g., animal dung from farms, factory, and sewage disposal system. Fish can be processed into fish byproducts such as fish meal, fish oil, and skin. It provides employment and income to many people. How agricultural land appreciate? By addition of fertilizer or manure to increase its fertility. These are ways by which agricultural lands can appreciate. Number one, we said by addition of fertilizer or manure to increase its fertility. Through reclamation and drainage, through fallowing, which allow land to rest, thereby regaining lost nutrients. Proper cultivation method, for example, crop rotation. Good or proper soil tillage can prevent erosion. Irrigation, the artificial application of water to soil, can also help the land to appreciate, that is, increase the value of land through rotational grazing, use of clean, uninfected inputs, good access roads to ensure proper uses of land, increase in population density, which makes the land expensive to buy. Ways by which land can depreciate, that is, it can decrease in value. Land can depreciate or decrease in its use or value through the following ways: erosion menace, infestation of weeds, infestation by pests and diseases, continuous cultivation without use of fertilizer or manure, overgrazing or indiscriminate bush burning, dumping of toxic materials as it tends to reduce soil fertility. Waterlogging can also reduce the value of land. Revision questions. Briefly explain the land use policy in Nigeria. Explain for agricultural and for non-agricultural uses of land. Briefly explain how each of the following factors affect land availability and use. Number one, population pressure, land tenure system, and soil type. What is game reserve? List 6 animals that can be conserved in game reserve. Enumerate 4 importance of game reserve in Nigeria. Name 3 game reserve you know in Nigeria. If you found it difficult to answer these revision questions, you can go over the video again, which will perfectly believe that you will answer the questions correctly. Thank you for being here today.